So EA is back dropping mini releases of promo cards and overpriced SBCs. In today's video we're going to be covering everything that's been out in the last 24 hours and all the investments you guys can make. But before we do start, if you guys are interested, I do offer a daily subscriber trading guide over on my Twitch. All you got to do is head over to the top link, and again you can subscribe for free with Amazon Prime, or it is £5, €5 or $6. And again you get yourself daily updated trading guides with daily investments and daily data to help you guys trade. So let's go and cover everything EA's dropped in the last 24 hours. They've dropped a bit of content. We've got a little bit of SBCs, a little bit of a little bit of Evos, and yeah, that's about it. So let's go and talk about the SBC. So this is our second, what's it called? Foot Rush or Total Rush card, and this is Raheem Sterling. And I'll be honest with you, yeah, we were a little bit worried about this because obviously earlier last week we recommended you guys to go and buy the likes of Garnacho. We recommended buy Garnacho because Garnacho was the most used Road to Knockout stage card, and traditionally the most used Road to Knockout stages have the best rises out of packs. Well, EA then went and, or the leakers there went and told us we're going to get a Sterling, and we were told the card stat for stat, and this is actually a very similar card to Garnacho. He's got one less weak foot, he's got one more, I think one less pace, he's got like 5 more physical, 1 less shooting, 2 less dribbling, something along the lines of that. So he had a very, very similar card. So we're a little bit worried because we thought, do you know what, if this is really cheap, this is going to go and drop Garnacho. And obviously he was the most recommended investment. Of course he was a recommended investment before we knew that we'd have a SBC almost stat for stat, but as I say, we didn't get too badly done because Sterling, when it came down at 270k, he got no playstyle plus, and the only thing I guess that really went for him is that he has this striker position, which Garnacho doesn't. But yeah, other than that, it's all kind of very, very similar to his base card. His upgrade was basically a second inform upgrade, if you guys haven't picked up by now. Total Rush cards are just players getting anywhere from a 1 inform upgrade to a second inform upgrade. We're not really seeing anything crazy. We've seen the odd playstyle, odd extra position, but that's about it. But yeah, there's Sterling. I mean, we look at his play role. Sadly, all his player role pluses are all in left mid. So, you know, if you want him to, I guess, overly excel in one position, then you don't have a crazy amount. And his playstyles, I'm not quite sure if he received any new playstyles, but by looking at these base playstyles, you know, he's got some shooting ones, he's got some passing ones, he's got some dribbling ones, and he's got some pace ones. So, you know, it's a nice split. The only thing I would say is, you know, is his card really that good value for money? And the main player I would go and compare him to is the likes of Chiesa. I mean, if I go and compare him right now, we've got Chiesa has 3 more pace, Chiesa has 2 less shooting, Sterling has 4 more passing, he's got 2 more dribbling, and he's got the same physicality. So a very, very similar card, but you're paying 3 times as much for the Sterling than you are Chiesa, and obviously he's untradeable. And they're very, very comparable cards. Can both play left wing, can both play a right-sided position, can both play striker. Although Chiesa does don the double 4-star, so you know, if you compare him to Garnacho, maybe he's not that bad value for money. But if you compare him to Chiesa, then he's, you know, not too amazing. Now, I would say that probably English Arsenal links, especially English Prem links, probably do outweigh Italian Prem links. Italian Prem links aren't bad, nor are Liverpool links, but I do think Sterling, you know, would probably favourite in links. But, you know, being worth 3 times as much, I do think he is very, very heavily overpriced. But one thing I was very surprised with, again, with him being 3 times as much, we didn't actually see really much of a drop on Chiesa when the SBC came out. You see right there, it was 97 before, 97 after. But this morning he's dipped down to 90, which is weird because we did think the market should be progressive. We'll talk a little bit more about the market in a sec. But there we go. There's our Raheem Sterling. That was the SBC we got. Along with that, we went and got ourselves another generic SBC. And again, EA's loving these. We only want half an SBC, but you know, half the players used for it absolutely skyrocket. So right here, they wanted leagues minimum 3, clubs minimum 4, players from the same country minimum 4, rares 3, and basically a back line. And like I said this in a previous video, I said, do you know what? The last time they drew one of these, we kind of missed out because we weren't quite sure what was the most optimal. But what we did is this came out, and I went through exactly what was the most optimal last time. And I said to my Twitch, I said, guys, go and buy French left backs. I think it was up to like 1.2k. And if I go and show you right now what happened to the French left backs, again, they did very, very well previously because France doesn't have any rare default left backs. The only rare they had was Hernandez, but he isn't a default left back. And again, if I go and show you what happened to the left backs, I think they're still very expensive. There we go. So again, we recommended up to 1.2. We give it a little bit of wiggle room. We make sure that, you know, there's probably hundreds on the market for people to buy. And they went from 1k up there extinct at 5k. So again, if I can ever put emphasis on, make sure to be in the stream at 6 PM each day, because you don't want to be missing out on these coins. And yeah, so you can do it for obviously a lot cheaper, but a lot of people use very mainstream nations like France. We also recommended a lot of stuff to do with England. One card I was quite surprised with that didn't do that well was a roller. Because if I go and show you, the other day a roller got himself up to 2.7k after that 6 PM. He got himself up to 2.8k on that 6 PM. So he's done very, very well week after week. But again, yesterday he only got to 1.2. That's something I did find weird. Was how consistent he is previously. Maybe he's just a lot rares are a lot more supplied this time of the week than when he was last used. Maybe because of weakening. I think that would be a fair analysis. But that's what we got for, regarding SBCs. Now going to head to Evolution. So we did go and get ourselves a brand new Evolution. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting. It's a paid Evolution. People are always a bit up and antsy when it comes to paid Evolutions. But there we go. There basically is a Evolution in, I mean, he's not dead, but the homage of Guti and making a Guti-esque sort of card. But yeah, I mean, for 65k, there weren't too many cards that you go, yeah, he'd be more than 65k on the market. If we go move to popular players, Fernandez, again, not crazy. For me, when I look at these box-to-box tournaments, I'm looking 80 plus in every single stat. So yeah, not quite doing it there with Fernandez. Stag doesn't look like a bad card. The only problem is you obviously are going to pay 75k because you're buying his Inform. And also Wonder Bremen, Danish links just aren't anything too crazy. Joelinton definitely has the most optimal card in my opinion, creating an 80 plus stats in all positions. He got himself Relentless. He's got loads and loads of play styles. Brazilian Prem, not bad. Newcastle doesn't have any crazy amount of links this year, but 89 physicality and then 80 plus every other stat. Only problem is he is donning the double 3-star. And that we got Loftus-Cheek. Some people were panic selling this Loftus-Cheek when they saw that one coming out, because I mean, if you go and compare the two cards, it's obviously not thriving in defend. I mean, I'll be honest with you, the road to knockout stage is significantly better, but of course that one is only costing you 65k. Yeah, with 82 plus in every stat apart from 77 defending, definitely does not create a bad card. Does he have? He's got double 4-star as well. It's quite nice, but as I say, there's a little bit of panic selling on this card initially. Let's say it went from what 280 down to or 290 down to 280. But he's kind of rebounded back up since, so it wasn't really anything worth panic selling. At the end of the day, we had really good Loftus-Cheek evos before this card even when it came out. So yeah, it didn't really do too much. There were a bit of, there was some pump and dumps on these cards, aka everyone bought them really fast thinking they go up, but the reality was no one really completed them. So for example, Joelinton yesterday went from 1.9 up to 4.8, but then he just went back down to 2, and again, it's a 65k evo. It's probably not going to be mass completed if it's not creating some insane sort of cards. So there is the evo we got, and now moving on to something which I was quite surprised by. EA's backdropping mini releases. Now, it's weird because, if I'm not wrong, EA last year did drop mini releases for road to knockout stages, but they didn't this year. So I was quite surprised when they actually are now backdropping mini releases for the likes of Total Rush. Again, some people thought there might have been SBCs, but then at that point there would have been 6 SBCs leaked, so I was for, I just thought it would maybe be Team 2, but no, we went and got ourselves a mini release. So we obviously got ourselves Delph, Blind, Berestein, and Dovbyak. Yeah, not the most desirable cards. Obviously, it's basically Delph and his 3 younger brothers they had to bring along with him. Sister. But yeah, say Delph looking pretty nice. Obviously, he can play left back, right back. A lot of people were quite worried about the likes of Gusto. I think Gusto might have had some initial panic selling, but I don't think he's looking too bad. Since Owly yesterday, yeah, I mean, there you go. He hasn't really been phased. Obviously, he's not up at the moment, but I wouldn't worry too much about the likes of Delph. Now, if you guys do want to go and buy these mini releases, let me just go and show you how the mini releases were last year. So, Mitoma was the most expensive player in the mini release last year. You can see he came out here on Sunday compared to other players who came up there on the Friday. So, how did the likes of Mitoma react? Well, he dropped through to Thursday, then rebounded about packs, but there was just no money on it. And then he dropped and dropped and dropped. Now, if you guys aren't aware of what the trend with these Trailblazers are, or again, Trailblazers, which is the equivalent of Total Rush, they basically rise to Friday and then they drop out of packs for all budgets. We can see right there, rose till Friday, peaked on the Friday, dropped out of packs. So it's a bit of a hard one because I do think Delph has a strong argument for being quite well demanded out of packs. With obviously the lack of Prem left and right backs. The only problem I have is, the trends for this promo or the promo equivalent last year were just absolutely abysmal. Like, they all just dropped out of packs. So If you want to buy him, you're probably going to go and buy him Thursday. I'd say either if he absolutely crashes Wednesday evening, we'll go and buy him like midnight Wednesday to Thursday. If not, you've probably got Thursday after Division Rival Awards. The only worry again I do have with him is that this equivalent promo had awful trends, because otherwise he's really good investment. Obviously, links to Garnacho. There is a massive lack of left backs in this year. You basically got Theo Hernandez or Mendy, and other than that, the left backs this year are pretty null, which is why obviously his Evo was so popular. So yeah, so pretty interesting. I probably would hold off investing in him, despite him looking like he could do well, just because the trends on these players were pretty rubbish. Just a quick talk about the rest of the players. Again, expected to go and drop. Well, they're expected to rise during the course of today, but then day to day they should drop through to Thursday. I can't imagine there's anything interesting. You can go and buy Blins at discard, because of course we know this season is all about La Liga players, Spanish players and La Liga F players, and therefore Blind can be good for that. That's why also, for those that are interested, Terry Arabaria, and Azpilicueta are pretty decent investments, because again we know there's a lot of La Liga, you know there's a lot of Spanish players coming this season, so they can be nice investments, especially the ones when they get very close to discard. And the topic of Total Rush cards as well, like I was saying, you know, these cards were the cheapest on Sunday, so if you guys do want to go and buy Total Rush, I do recommend buying them now, anticipating these cards rising till Friday. If we go and look at a list, this is the list of the most used Total Rush cards. Obviously the idea is the more a card is used, the more it will rise. So yeah, regarding investments, Trent, Azpilicueta, Martra, Tuchemeni, and I'd probably go down there to Correa. Williamson I also think can be good, so I'd go with those players right there, and they should rise between now to Thursday. Again, should be all good to go and buy at the going rate. So that's Total Rush covered. We're now just going to be about gold. So again, last year the market was really progressive. From the Friday we've just had all the way through for like 2 weeks. Sadly, it doesn't really have seen that be the case this year, where we can see Saliba kind of drops here, and he's even down from yesterday's price now. I mean, if I refresh it, yeah, he's even down from yesterday. Now, I do expect these cards rising till Tuesday, following the normal trend, but sadly, I don't think we're going to get a market rises for 2 weeks on the gold cards that are in packs. I do, on the other hand, think we will see the market rising for 2 weeks on the outer pack cards. So like Eder Militao, now again, he wasn't too progressive over the weekend. You know, you can see he dropped down on the Friday to the Saturday. He's kind of holding the same price. I can see this guy rising for 2 weeks, or a minimum rising till Friday. Obviously with him not being in packs, but people consistently upgrading to him. Likewise with stuff like Adeyemi again, Friday, Saturday, down there at 90. I do believe he will now rebound till Friday, presuming he isn't replaced by something. Because again, yeah, the gold market just hasn't really been that good, which is really, I said in yesterday's video, it's quite surprising, because last year what happened is week 1 of Weekend League, the market dropped. Week 2 of Weekend League, the market rose. Well, week one of Weekend League this year, the market didn't really drop much. Now you could say, well, because it hasn't dropped much, it hasn't risen much, which, you know, is I guess a fair counter argument. But the idea is, because it didn't drop much, it meant there was a lot higher demand for them top players than what they're being supplied this year compared to last year. Because the idea was, they didn't drop much last year and they dropped loads last year. Sorry, if they didn't drop much this year and they dropped loads last year, it means the week where they rise, they should rise way more, because we've already got early signs of there being more demand than supply. But that just didn't happen. You know, they actually went down, whereas last week, the equivalent last year, they went up a lot. So again, I would just imagine, to play it safe, I'd just say these are going to now follow the week-to-week trends, and that's where they peak on the Tuesday, then go down. There you go. Although, Van Dijk was out of packs, probably not the best example. Can I go and use Saliba? There you go. Peaked on the Tuesday, went down in price. Kind of peaked on the Tuesday, didn't really rise apart from the Friday. So again, I do back the impact market, or the gold cards, to peak on the Tuesday, then drop through to Wednesday evening, Thursday morning, then rise for Weekend League. And the outpack market, again, last week we saw really good rises on the outer pack informs during division rivals. I think a nice example is going to be the likes of Rafinha. Yep, we can see last Wednesday he went from 360 up there to 400k after div rivals. So again, my recommendation would be out pack cards. RTKs you can actually hold all the way through to next Monday, but inform cards, and well, that's about it really. Inform cards I'd go and sell on the Friday. Heroes and icons again probably peak on the Friday, drop through to the Saturday, Sunday, and then gold cards again we think will peak on the Tuesday. Alright, let's go through a few other cards. We're going to go and talk a little bit about, Van de Ven again, another card that I think should rise, likewise with Martinez. RTK cards. So these RTK cards, we were saying yesterday, have been quite progressive. They picked up quite nicely yesterday after squad battles. So for example, Watkins, had a bit of a rough time where he went from 105 down to 100, but now back up to 110. Moved to DeMarco. Again, yesterday averaged 180, should keep on rising now and again. Should rise all the way through to next Monday. The reason we sell on Monday and not holding for the games is because some players, even though they're super favoured to win their games, if they win the games, they go down because of how favoured they are to win. And then, of course, players who are favoured to win their games and then don't win their games absolutely crash. So you don't want to be in them for that. And again, Cherky up from 270 to 281. Bront's taking a little bit longer to rise. Why is Bront taking a little bit longer to rise? That's because it was way more mainstream as an investment. Again, what happened with the Road to Knockout stages is because Team 2 didn't rise so well in the first 48 hours, I think a lot of people panic sold the investments, foreshadowing the first 48 hours to be what would happen for the next 10 days. Again, I don't personally believe that's going to be the case. A lot of people also are saying that, but maybe maybe someone like Bront's not up because he's not favourite to go and win his next game. Well, what I said to that as a counter was, we've got someone like Acuna. And Acuna obviously plays for Sevilla. And Sevilla last year, when they played against Arsenal, and obviously Arsenal were in pretty decent form. So despite Arsenal being favourite to go and beat Sevilla, Acuna still went from 86 to 112k. So that's why I don't really care too much about, the player's not favourable to win. Because, players, like, every single Road to Knockout stage last year rose between them being out of packs to them going to the Monday before their games, despite how favourable or unfavourable they were to rise. Another reason why you might have also seen a slower rise on Bront is, just like I said earlier in the video, the market traditionally rose from this Friday onwards, and if the whole market isn't rising, well then Road to Knockout stages are going to be impacted by that as well. If the whole market's rising, well then the rarer stuff is going to rise even more. If the whole market's not rising, then you're not going to see as big rises on those players there. Interesting enough, the only market that really does seem to be rising a lot is the Icon and Hero market. Like, the Icon and Hero market, if I'm not wrong, is like on absolute steroids. So in steroids, at the moment again, we're doing a lot of icon trading. And every day I'm like, I've probably bought that player for break even. And they're up another 40, 50k each day. But yeah, we've been doing a lot of icon trading again. At the moment, the account is probably sitting close to 6 million coins. So again, I want to try and make 10 million coins in the first month. I did that a few years in a row, but I hadn't done that in the last 2 years. So again, at the moment, I think I did a bit of a counter play. I think we're sitting about mid 5 millions to 6 million. So I've basically got 6 days to go and try and make a few million coins with icon trading. But it should be good because the market should be nice and progressive. So do wish me luck on that. And again, if you're interested in icon trading or shadow trading, we will go and cover it in the stream. To end off the day's video, we're just going to talk a little bit about the Team of the Weeks. Now, Team of the Weeks, we still have till Monday evening's games, and luckily there are a lot of big hitters playing on the Monday, so I do think we'll get a lot of big players from that. But yeah, up until now, the Team Week is looking, it's going to be one of two things. It's either going to be rubbish, or yeah, going to give those proper jammy Team of the Weeks. Like, oh, here's a Team of the Week Salah. What did he do? Oh, he got 1 goal against Papua New Guinea. Like, it's going to be these real hard to predict, but EA forced them in. Or it's going to be EA just give us a bad Team of the Week. Because I said this in yesterday's video again, so I won't be too much of a parrot. But the big teams are not having big players standing out. We go and look at yesterday's games, and again, it's also quite hard. England go and beat Finland 3-1, but there's 3 different goals and 3 different scorers and 3 different assists. Maybe Trent wins it, but he doesn't keep a clean sheet, so and he's in the current promo. Do you give it to Rice for a goal? And even then, it's not a big hitter. Greece again, we should already get Pavlidis, or whatever he was called, the striker that scored 2 goals against England. Austria won 5-1, but it's looking to create a Team of the Week on Arnautovic. We're not getting a crazy Team of the Week. Funny enough, if there is a crazy Team of the Week, it's coming from one section this week, and it is coming from the women. If we go and look at some of these games, I mean, again, not a crazy card, but not a bad investment. We've got K-Shaw. K-Shaw got herself, Kajati Shaw, I think it is, got herself 2 goals in a 2-1 win, so not bad there. But, Barcelona doing what Barcelona do. Poor Espanyol, by the way. Espanyol got 1 goal in the 20th minute, held a 1-0 lead all the way till the 60th minute, and then from the 60th minute, somehow it slipped a 1-0 lead to losing 7-1. But yeah, don't upset Barcelona women. That's all I say. Well, Pajor went and got herself minimum, was it like 3 goals? But obviously she's been in a recent Team of the Week, so she can't get one. So the likely Team of the Week here is probably going to be Putellas, which is nice. Like I said, it's quite a dry Team of the Week. So 2 goals and an assist for Putellas is looking like it's looking like a Team of the Week. Is she a good investment? Sadly, not really. You know, I can't see there being a high return on investment. Because I can use Valverde from last week as an example, right? Valverde at the lowest was 421, and the highest has kind of been 490. So that's up 70k. But that's up 70k from a 400k player. Either if you put 400k into Road to Knockout stages or maybe meta golds in the morning of Div Rivals, you'd make a lot more money. I'd also say I think Valverde is probably being used a fair bit more than Putellas. I mean, I can go and find it. Again, the way you can always go and find stats like this is loading up PGP. I'll load up centre mids, and then let me sort via games. Let's have a little look. Where are the two players? Putellas has been used. No, she's actually being used more. Putellas has been used for 825,000 games. Valverde has been used for 625. It's just because of how linkable they are. So, but I don't know, maybe she does go and outperform Valverde. But in my opinion, she'd have to significantly outperform Valverde to really be a better value for money investment than buying Road to Knockout stage cards that aren't too inflated. Than buying what's it called? Than buying Total Rush players, or maybe gambling on fodder as such. But yeah, should go and get herself a team of the week, and as I say, the other person who should go and get himself a team of the week is Kajati Short. But I think that has gone and wrapped it up. Again, we do expect to see quite a progressive market, minimum till Tuesday, but more on your special and out-pack specials till the Friday. Again, we'll be streaming from 8 in the morning all the way through to 6:30, so any questions, do make sure to drop them down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.